What's up, everybody? It's Miss Panda, and I want to do a reaction video on my Jazzy life. She was crying and snotting on her live video that she did earlier. I want to give my opinion to the shenanigans Panda style. Y'all know how I do. Before we get started on the day's shenanigans, hit the thumbs up and share my video and subscribe to my channel. And leave a comment if you wish to do so. If y'all ready, let's get started. Child, that's what Jasmine was doing. Are y'all sick of the shenanigans? Because I know I am. Let's get into it. I'm tired of all the boo-hoo. You already know it's time to pay bills, so she get the boo-hooing. Now, let's fix it. Jasmine claims she's overwhelmed because of the kids. Okay? She don't want those kids. Point blank, period. If she can't be in a relationship with the man, she don't want them. She turned against those kids when Philip was in jail. I think I mentioned that in a previous video before. Okay? Now, I feel like Philip helps her with the kids, and for her, it just seemed like it's still just not enough. It's like she wants somebody to parent those kids for her. Now, I felt like that's what Philip and Hannah was doing. They was helping her out a lot more than Chris is. Chris ain't doing hardly nothing. Ain't no hardly. I really deep down inside believe that Chris is not doing nothing for Stinky Bug. Okay? He ain't doing nothing for that baby. And it seemed like she resents Hannah because Hannah replaced her. I think in her heart, deep down inside, like Jasmine is just, I hate to say this. Oh my goodness, God forgive me. But I have to be able to speak openly. And I have to be able to speak how I feel about the situation. And maybe I may come across as being cruel, but I'm sick and tired of Jasmine because I don't feel like she's doing enough to improve her situation. Yes, she took the necessary steps to fix as far as her weight, which is good for her health, which is good for her like physical health, her mental health, and she looks good on the outside. She needs to do the work on the inside. There's a lot of mental things that's going on with her. Something's not right with her. And I really just don't appreciate how she's taking her attitude out on the kids. They didn't ask to come and be here. She had a choice. She said a lot of things that made me angry with her. That made me, honestly, I hate to say this, want to punch her in her face. I shouldn't probably say that. And I'm not promoting violence, but she needs to cut it out. I'm tired of the begging. My thing is, what are you going to do about your situation? Why does everybody else have to pay for the decisions that you made? Everybody tried to tell you, Chrissy tried to tell you, you threw Chrissy away. Your mother tried to tell you about Chris. You threw your mother away. You turned against your own mother. My mother is deceased, and I would give anything in this world to be able to have my mother living and breathing on this earth so I could hug and kiss her one last time. That was my ride or die, my best friend. That was my everything. I didn't need nobody else as long as I had my mama, and she ain't here no more. She taught me everything. But one thing that my mama did not teach me is how to live without her. And I miss her. And I'm doing the best that I can. But it's not about me. Let's get back on Jasmine. I don't appreciate the fact that you allowed Christopher Big Booty Bowser to turn you against your mother. You would disrespect your mother on the internet? It's not even like it was privately behind closed doors. You publicly disrespected her. And I'm not saying that Mama Dukes was right about some of the things that she did, but I still don't feel like it was right for you to publicly disrespect your mama because that's the one person that you had in your corner. That's why you ain't got nobody, because you felt like as long as you had Chris, you didn't need anybody. You thought you was the bomb Zeke. Yes, I took it all the way back to the 90s. So what? That's what we used to say in high school. She thought she was the done data as long as she had him. Now, I think she needs to put Chris on child support. I'm not understanding why he's not paying child support. What is so special about Chris? That's what I want to know. First of all, he ain't cute at all. He got big teeth. He looked like a bald head, big booty beaver to me. There's nothing cute about him. He looks like a fat pig. I don't mean to be talking about nobody, but it is what it is. You know, he's not fine to me. He big and why he built like a walrus and like an elephant or something. He got big teeth. Then he got a nasty attitude. He always making all these weird faces, and he looked like he smelled funny. She needs to petition the court to get the court system to make him pay for Legend to go to daycare. I feel like at the very least, he needs to be responsible for Legendary's daycare payments so that Jasmine could get up and either go to school, get a job, work from home, or do something with herself besides doing YouTube. I personally feel that Jasmine Dupree Dukes needs a break from YouTube. Okay? It's just not working. She needs to get her mental health together. She needs to get her house in order. Okay? And YouTube is not cutting it. At this point, I feel like the only thing that she is using YouTube for, she is using her platform to beg people for money. And quite frankly, I'm sick of it, and I'm not sending her a dime. Some people might call me mean, but oh well. How come when we have bills and different things going on, we got to figure out a way to make it happen for ourselves and our children? But when she has stuff, she has to get up here and she can come up here. I hate my life. I'm so sad. I'm overwhelmed. She could boo-hoo and cry, and people just cha-ching, cash app, cha-ching, cash app, cha-ching, cash app. That's all it is. But my thing is this. This is my thing. Nobody else thinks of this. What is she doing with said cash apps? I don't see nothing. Quiet as it's kept. I'm not trying to be funny. And I like the fact that she's working out because I'm trying to work on myself. I need to we all could work on improving ourselves for health reasons, not just to look good on the outside, but for a lot of different reasons for all of us. We all trying to get it together. The summertime is coming up and we want to be summertime fine, but we also want to be healthy. So I get that part. But my thing is, she wear a lot of the same workout clothes over and over and over again. I'm going to be the one to come out and say it. She wear the same thing over and over and over. So what? She working out. Y'all probably going to be like, well, so what, Miss Panda? She just going to the gym, and so she can go on Shein just like everybody else and order her some cute workout outfits because she wear the same thing over and over. Okay? Now, another thing I want to talk about, because I wrote some notes. Yes, I did. Now, life is life and for everybody, not just Jasmine. Who does she think she is that she is above responsibility? I'm not going to baby her. I don't know about y'all. I'm not babying her. I'm not holding her hand. And I'm not trying to coddle her. And I think that's why Mama Dukes fell back, because she tired of her too. Jasmine ain't nothing but a liability and a bill. She's a big walking bill. The thing about it is that I can't stand about her. She got all the money in the world. We sat back and watched this woman for about at least 2-3 years. It might have been longer than that, but as long as her and Chris was together, she wined and dined that man. I always said that she was the man in that relationship with her and Chris. But when it come down to the kids, her pockets is turned inside out, crumbs and nothing but lint and crumbs is falling on the floor. But when it came down to Chris, she spared no expense when it came down to him, taking him out to all these fancy schmancy dinners, booking hotel rooms for his birthday and her birthday with her Stinkabug and Chris. You notice that the day before, she always wait until the day before, go with they daddy. When they go with their daddy, then that's when her and Chris would get on the road and they would just be balling out. They had all the money, went on that they had bills and stuff. Then she was happy and snot with a big old nose, laughing and smiling all in his face. And he was laughing and smiling all in her face, being phony, knowing that he ain't like her. He was only using her for what he could get for her child. She was going to the grocery store, buying these big old slabs of rib for his big old funky behind. He got nice and big and fat and heavy and husky, chunky and blubbery up off of her. She was buying all the food. Y'all remember? Y'all remember when they used to wait until the kids went to sleep? Y'all don't try to act like y'all. Don't sit here act like y'all. Don't forget when she used to sit up there and her Chris, she would feed the kids. Remember she was cooking spaghetti? Made me laugh. I'm so mean. Shut up. Y'all remember when she used to sit up there and cook spaghetti for the kids every night? Y'all don't remember that? Like she would cook a big pot of spaghetti. And I was like saying to myself, like, dang, that's all she cooked is spaghetti. Every time I turn around, she always get them kids spaghetti and she'll send them right on to bed. She used to send them to bed nice and early because she knew that Chris was coming home and she would make Chris cook because then they would eat all the fried chicken and then she would eat all the ribs. And y'all remember that one time when they was on live when they little jazz what was they live? Their little cooking channel that they had. I think it was called Jazz and Chris something. I forgot what it was called, child. She don't even post over there because you know Jasmine can't cook. She can't cook at all. But anyway, I think one time they was on live and I think Chris had made like some fried chicken or some ribs or something he had made. And I think one of the kids had got up and Jasmine got so mad. The funny part about that is she will always send the Davis kids to bed early under the disguise of that she was sending them to bed because they had to get up and go to school the next day. Yeah, right. You were just sending them to school, sending them to bed because you didn't want to share none of that food that you and Chris was cooking. But you thought you was slick. But them kids smelt that food. It's not like, you know how kids, tell kids, because I used to do it when I was a kid, me and my siblings. My mother would tell us to go to bed or whatever. And you know, kids ain't gonna go to sleep right away. You know, we be in there playing around, jumping up and down on the bed, you know, in there singing songs, doing everything but going to sleep. I keep asking my mother, could we get up and go to the bathroom and stuff like that, just so we could come out and be nosy. But yeah, she was sitting on the bed because she didn't want to share them. It was all about her. But you never, if you notice, she never set a bedtime for Stinky Poo. I call him Stinky Poo. Stinky Poo legend could stay up while they had to go to bed. Because the bottom line is she just wanted it to be her, Stinky Poo, and Chris. That's it. She didn't want them. She's taking her anger because if you notice on her lives, even though Chris dog walked her, that man from the beginning did not like her. He came in with a master plan that he executed from the beginning. He was using her from the get-go. And she was too stupid, deaf, dumb, and blind to realize that that man was using her. Okay? She was in love and he was in survival. Survival mode was activated with her. He saw a dummy and he saw that she was vulnerable because her dude was in jail and that she was lonely because she wears her vulnerability on her sleeve. He sat back and studied her and he hustled her so bad. And she just fell for a hook, line, and sinker. Ain't nobody teach Jasmine no game. She was dumb. But anyway, getting back to what my notes, these are decisions that she made to keep her man happy. Okay, let me start back over. Life is life and for everybody, not just Jasmine. Who does she think that she is, that she's above responsibility? Personally, like I said, I'm not going to baby her and I'm standing on that because she's a grown woman. These are the decisions that she made to keep her man happy. And he left her high and dry and holding the bag. And when I say by holding a bag, I don't mean that he left her with a bag of money. He left her with the responsibility of maintaining herself, his son, her kids, and that house that he convinced her or tricked her. Chris is a snake. He's a snake-like dude. She just was the only person who didn't see it. And she cut off anybody who told her that he was snake-like. Now she want to sit here and boo-hoo and cry. Okay? Man, listen. If she don't get up out my face with that mess. Now, another thing that she said that I want to discuss. She said that she has been crying ever since her first child. This woman is crazy. She is plumb crazy. How could she, as a woman and as a mother, come up on this internet, on this platform, to disrespect her children the way that she has? Let me tell you something. God don't like ugly. God does not bless no mess. And as long as you continue to mistreat these children, God is going to sit up there and he's going to further whoop your behind. That's why you can't come up out of this financial ruin. That's why your relationship with this man did not work, because if it ain't right, it ain't going to last. That's why it didn't last. You need to get yourself together, get you some business, and get to your bag. Survival mode needs to be activated with you, Jasmine. You need to make a way out of no way because my mama did it with 3 kids and she was a single woman and she hustled. When I say that that woman hustled, she worked 2, sometimes 3 jobs at a time with 3 kids. And yes, I was a latchkey kid. Yes, I was the oldest. And yes, I had to help with my siblings. But we made it do what it do. She did what she had to do. And I helped her. And it was hard and it was rough on both of us, but we made it happen. You need to do the same. Okay? How dare you come up here and say that you've been crying ever since you had your first child? Your first child is Kaylin. When she becomes a grown woman, these videos, even if you take them down and archive them, hide or whatever, somebody's going to have these and she's going to see these. And that might be traumatic to her. And I wouldn't be shocked if she didn't speak to you anymore. Because I know I wouldn't if you were saying stuff like that about me. Let me drink me some water. I got to be hydrated. Mm, mm. I'm sorry, but that water was ice cold and good. But getting back to what I was saying, she also said that she wishes that Philip would have left her after having their first child. Lies, 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 lies. If that man would have left her, she would have followed him halfway across the world, begging, crying, and snot for him to come back. So I don't know why she's saying that. If you read between the lines, what she's saying is she didn't want Philip to leave her after the first child. She regrets having the first child. She regrets having the second child. She regrets having the third and fourth child. And she regrets having that last one. That's basically what she's saying if you read between the lines. Okay. Okay. Now, my thing is, why does she keep allowing her baby daddy, which was Philip at the time, to keep getting her pregnant? Okay. Kaylin got to be what, 12? She's going to the 6th grade. She got to be at least 11 or 12. Okay, I'm sure they had contraceptives that they could have used. They could have used condoms. They could have used birth control. They could have used even a pull-out method. Okay? They could have used some form of birth control is what I'm saying. Why didn't you do that? He didn't have to leave. You didn't have to have all of those children. Okay? Jasmine seems like I said, I already said she seemed like she regret having her kids. We all know that. She said that she can't get a job because she doesn't have anybody to watch Legend. That's your problem. That was your problem because you would have been okay with the Davis 4 because they are at this point in school all day. You made the decision. That's why I didn't say you and Chris. You made the decision on your own without discussing it with him because you already know how Chris felt about that. He didn't want the kids that he had from his previous relationship with Paris' mother. He didn't want his sons that he had with LaKenya. I don't know if he got any more kids, but I know he didn't want those children. So what makes you think that he wanted a baby by you? And I'm sure he told you he didn't want any kids, but you took it upon yourself to make sure that you crab-legged him. Y'all know what that means. And if you don't know, you know. You know how it is when a man trying to get up off you and you trying to get pregnant, you wrap your legs around him, and he can't get up, and he ski all ski. You know what I mean? And that's basically what she did. He didn't have a say in the matter. And then once she found out she was pregnant, she just kept it. You know what I mean? Come on now, we grown here. Mm-hmm. That's how she got pregnant. That's crazy. She needs to find a reputable work from home job. Because something got to give. She got to do something. She got to do something. She got to start making some type of moves. I don't care if she got to do Instacart. I don't care if she got to take Stinky Bug with her to do DoorDash and do Instacart. You got to do what you got to do. I don't care. She got to do what she got to do. Because if you go on YouTube, there's a lady, well, they call her a scammer, but her name is Allison Alada. She's in the mommy sector too, kind of, sort of. Don't nobody really react to her like that for real. But her name is Allison Alana. She is notorious for being what people consider her as a scammer. Because she was another beggar basically she had a apartment or whatever, or a little house or whatever, and she used to come up here almost every month around rent time with a sad sob story so that people could send her cash app, and people was feeling sorry for her and sending her cash apps. But then after a while, people started getting hip to the okie doke that she was pulling, and they stopped cash apping her after a while because they noticed that they felt like they was being like she was scammy, and she eventually ended up getting put out, and she was homeless. And I don't know whether she was staying in a shelter. She was being kind of secretive about where she was staying at, because she didn't really have that family structure support system either. So that's why she would come up on the internet and do a lot of begging. But anyway, long story short, it seemed like things kind of got better for her a little bit. She has like an online boutique where she sells clothes. I'm talking about Allison Alana. um she also was doing DoorDash for a while. And she also, I think, was doing Instacart. And she had all three. She has three sons, three boys. Her oldest is 15. I think that's Aiden. Then she has Ace. I forgot how old he is. But then her youngest child is August. They call him Augie Bear. And she had all of them kids in the car with her. And she was smart because she brought her oldest son with her. And she would go through the drive-through to pick up her DoorDash orders. And then, when she had to get out the car to go up to the house, she had her, I think he's like 15 or 16, to stay in the car with the little ones while she, goes up to the houses to deliver the food. So that's smart. She made it do what it do. And she was able to, survive like that, with her child support, her YouTube check, and her little DoorDash and an Instacart. She was able to hustle. And she was, I think, driving for Walmart Spark too. So you need to get up off your behind with your cash card that you had bought, and you need to get you the DoorDash. The problem with you, Jasmine, is the fact that you feel like you are too big of an entity on YouTube. No, you are not, Boo Boo Kitty. No, you are not. When the bills need to be paid and the bill collectors come a knocking, they don't care if you work for YouTube, ScrewTube, or whoever tube. They want their money, and they don't care where you get it from. Okay? So you need to stop acting like you too biggity and too uppity, and stop acting like you some bougie, stoogie white woman. No disrespect towards white women or disrespect towards white people, but no disrespect. Let's keep it real. We're going to keep it a buck. Jasmine does act like she's a bougie white woman from Beverly Hills. And honey, your money is funny. You want your money, your paper ain't long enough for you to be bougie oogie. You need to get yourself together. Get you some hustle. Get determined. Something. Listen, girl, you ain't used to nobody talking to you like this because you used to everybody baby you. I'm not about to baby you. I ain't gonna cuss you out, but I ain't about to baby you neither. You need a good old-fashioned read. She said that she feels like she don't have nobody in her corner. I guess not. You ran all your support system away. You ran them all away. You pushed everybody away. You pushed Chrissy away because she tried to tell you she didn't like Chris. Maybe you didn't like her delivery, but I feel like Chrissy had your best interest at heart, and you turned against her for Chris, and you also backstabbed her and turned against her for Olivia. Though everything that you do is coming full circle. This is your karma. This is the day of reckoning. Okay? You ran off Tiara TV. You mistreated her. Okay? You mistreated your mother. You mistreat your kids. You mistreat everybody. So if you ain't got no support system, oh well, oh well, oh well, oh well, oh well. You did that. You ran them away. Now he don't want you no more. You want them to come back. That's not how this works. Not everybody's going to put up with your mess. She sees, getting back to my notes, she sees the house that she lives in as a burden. Don't get me wrong. It's a beautiful home. Yes, I did take my nosy behind over to Google. Yes, I did, because I wanted to see what the layout looked like, and it is absolutely beautiful. I don't think that she does that house justice because she doesn't have the decorative expertise to bring that house together as far as the way it need to be brought out, if that makes sense. She don't know how to decorate. Okay. But it's a beautiful home, and she sees it as a burden because she can't afford to live there. Well, you shouldn't allow that man. You already should have known that he was nefarious and he was up to no good. Because why wouldn't he want his name on a lease where he lay his head down at with his woman and his child? That's how you could tell he wasn't planning on staying that long. He was playing you the whole time. Because the average dude, the first thing they're gonna want to do, whether they move in with you or whether y'all get a place together, if he's serious about you, he's gonna want his name on that lease. And even if they're not serious about you, sometimes they want their name on the lease so that you can't put them out. You see what I'm saying? Hmm. Um, if I was you, you need to find you a nice, affordable two-bedroom apartment somewhere and break that lease, honey. You just need to do it. Your credit is already in the toilet anyway. So it's not going to really make a difference at this point because you are under the water. You cannot afford this. So I don't know what you're going to do, but you need to figure it out. And you need to figure it out soon. Okay? Jasmine allowed herself to be used and abused by Chris just to keep a raggedy man in her life. She just wanted her a piece of man, somebody to talk crap about, and somebody to lay next to at night. Even if he didn't want to be bothered with her. He looked disgusted by her most of the time. She gave her heart to a man that never loved her. Now she called herself giving up on love. Girl, if you don't sit down somewhere, I would take Chris to court for that truck that she bought him, and then I would sell it and pay off my bills. That's what I would do. But we all know she ain't gonna do nothing but sit up here, come up here and beg for y'all hard on cash. She needs to stop answering her phone for people that can't help her. And when I say people that can't help her, I'm talking about Chris. And I don't really know if he talked to her on the phone or not, but I'm quite sure he still be hitting her up asking her for money. Because that's how he is. Because all his money is going on his new woman. And when he need extra cash, he probably know he could double back and go to her because he know that she's still hung up on him. He know that she doing all that working out and trying to be fine and trying to get summertime fine and get her body together for him. And he still don't want her. She ain't got nothing else to get. He made sure he left her miserable, oppressed, downtrodden, broke it down. There's nothing left. Jasmine is the Chris is the true definition of the person who will use you until ain't nothing left and then get up and leave. He saw the handwriting on the wall. He knew you ain't had no more money and he got to step in. She basically don't need nobody in her life that can't help her with nothing. And she also needs to stop allowing people to use her. Chris did what she allowed him to do. She never put her foot down with him on anything. She allowed him to talk to her any type of way. She allowed him to not be responsible for anything, which I don't understand that because he was living there as well as her and they had a child together. So I don't understand why when she was with Chris, which I felt like he was more than an extra mouth to feed, he was a burden because he didn't bring anything to the table. He didn't have anything to offer. And he wasn't helping her take care of the kids when he was there. So even though he was physically there, she was still alone. Because like I said, he wasn't helping her with nothing. Um, she basically let him walk all over her, like I said, just to say that she had a man. She got to figure something out. She needs to repair her relationships with her family, starting with her mother. She allowed that man to turn her against her own mama. If you that weak-minded and that low down to allow a man, a stranger, to turn you against your own mama, everything that you get, you deserve. I stopped feeling anything for Jasmine when she did that to her mother. A lot of people don't like Mama Dukes. Hey, I don't have nothing against her personally. I don't know her in real life. I only know her on the internet. But I felt like it was very disrespectful for her to publicly come up on this platform and disrespect her mama. I felt like that should have been something that should have been handled off camera. Was her mother wrong? Maybe. Jasmine had a right, I guess, to feel the way that she felt. I just didn't like the way that she handled it. It could have been handled better. You don't allow no man to come or no friend or nobody to turn you against your mama. Now, if they organically fell out, because mothers and daughters go through things, because I used to go through things with my mom too. But I wouldn't have allowed no man, as much as I love my husband, I'm not gonna allow him to turn me against my mama, when she was alive or whatever. She crazy. My mother was my best friend, and I would give anything to have my best friend back, really. I love my man, but like I said, I wouldn't allow him or any man to make me turn against my mom. Jasmine, you wrong for that. You're wrong. She also allowed him to break up all her friendships. Even though she didn't really have that many friends off of outside of YouTube, most of her relationships were YouTube based. That's why I say I really feel like she needs a break from YouTube. I think the YouTube is the source, the cause, and the cure at the same time. Because I don't feel like she's utilizing her platform to its full potential to be able to make the money that she could make. She has the potential to make lots of money on her platform, but you can't pay bills with potential. She's not hustling enough. She's not going hard enough. She's not creative enough. And what I mean by that is her content is boring. That's why she has to manufacture all of these beefs with Medusa, Olivia, and when she was beefing with Chrissy, or she's beefing with Philip, beefing with Hannah. She always has to manufacture some type of beef in order to get her views up, to get her money up, because she's not interesting. She doesn't go anywhere or do anything at all. All she does is sit in the house. And then she doesn't even do anything. It's not like she does arts and crafts with the baby. That's content. Set up a tripod and show you and Stinkabug coloring. Set up a tripod and show you and Stinkabug going to the grocery store together and do like a grocery haul. People like those types of things. Um, get a get ready with me video. I think that Jasmine looks really nice when she puts effort into her appearance in terms of like putting on her makeup and putting on her lashes, putting on her wig. She knows how to fix herself up when she wants to. I thought that when she went out on her coffee date with her imaginary, which I don't, child, I really still feel like that was an imaginary date. I think that she just got dressed and put some clothes on, child, and just rode around somewhere. Because if Jasmine was on a date for real, even if she didn't show who she was with, she would have had that camera on, and she would have had it pointed at the ceiling, or just had the camera pointing on herself while they were sitting down having a conversation, engaging or something. That's why I don't really. I believe it was a pretend thing for content. Um, Another thing I wanted to address is I feel like she's still heartbroken about the fact that Philip broke up with her while she was in prison. I feel like that's one of the main reasons why she has her resentment towards Hannah, because Hannah is also the cause of them breaking up. So she's always going to harbor secret animosity towards Hannah for that reason, because Hannah basically broke up their relationship. I think he was already looking at the front door, but let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. I feel like if she would have stayed in there and did that bid with him, that whole entire bid, accepted his phone calls, put money on his commissary or books as they call it, and he got out and he didn't have anywhere else to stay, I think that he would have gotten out, and I think he would have came home to her. Now, would his heart have still been with her? Maybe not. I think it would have just been a place to stay, but I don't think that Jasmine would have cared. She would have been happy that she hung up with her man doing his entire bid. She would have been happy that he was home. She would have welcomed him with open arms. And she wouldn't have cared if he didn't love her. He could have spit in her face. He could have beat her up, dragged her across the floor, told her he didn't love her, told her she was ugly, she stank, and everything. And she still would have let that man in that house, and she would have still laid up in that bed with him and stayed with him and let him stay there with her. Yep, she would have. But because he met her, Hannah or whatever, I don't know how they were introduced. I don't know whether he knew her before he got locked up or if maybe he got introduced, because they do that in prison, where somebody in prison might introduce them to a girl or whatever, and they come and bring them there, and then they start dating, just like, because I love, my favorite show is like Life After Lockup. Yeah, I like that. I wouldn't date nobody in prison though. But anyway, I think that's why she harbors that resentment towards Hannah, because she feels like if it wasn't for her, that her and Philip, when he got out of jail, he would have still been with her. That's the source of hatred towards her. And it's like no matter what Philip or Hannah does, she's always gonna secretly hate him for that. I don't know what Philip could do. I don't know if he even cares enough to try to rectify the situation with Jasmine by at least maybe issuing an apology. But then again, what does he have to apologize for if you really think about it? I mean, if he really wasn't feeling her in a relationship anymore, I felt like he did the right thing by being honest with her and breaking up with her. Unlike Chris, I felt like Chris was low key sneaky and low down the way he went about it. He sat up there and he planned an extra exit strategy. He extracted and drained her. I mean, squeezed her until she was bone dry of her financial resources. He mentally and emotionally left her in ruins. And he sneakily just moved out and moved on into a new relationship. Philip was more straight up. At least he had the nerve to tell her, even while he was in jail, he could have been slick about it. You got a lot of men that's in jail that they would have had Hannah, and he would have had Hannah thinking that she was the one and only. And he would have been with Jasmine too, and had a couple of other chicks coming up to the prison. There's been some fights, people that I know personally, that dudes got locked up or whatever, and they held them down in jail, put money in their books, went to go visit them and everything. And when it went one day, this chick that I know went up to go visit her dude, and it was another girl there. Yeah, they do that. Where they'll have multiple. They'll have them coming on different days, but some kind of way it overlapped, and he got caught out there or whatever. But yeah, they do that. At least Philip was honest with her, but she just doesn't like appreciate the fact that he moved on with his life, and he seems to be happy, and he ain't coming back to her. Yeah. What else? Hold on one second. Now, where were we? Okay, like I said, I feel like she was heartbroken about the fact that Philip broke up with her while he was in prison. It seemed like she never got over the breakup with Philip. She needed a lot of therapy and healing back then too. Remember, she was going to therapy for a while, and I think she was taking like maybe antidepressants and stuff like that. Um, Instead of fully healing, she chose to jump right into a relationship with Chris while she was still vulnerable. She didn't really know him well enough to be in a relationship with him, let alone allow him moving into her place around her children. I think that that was very, very dangerous. And that was a poor decision because she didn't really know that man and he didn't have good intentions for her. She allowed him to come into her home and she didn't set any rules. She was just so flabbergasted and elated that she had a man that actually smiled in her face to lay up under and to have in her house, that she didn't set any rules. She didn't establish dominance in her house. And what I mean by that, she didn't allow him when he moved in to allow him, I'm allowing you to move in. You are here because I want you to be here, not because I need you to be here because I can pay these bills by myself. But this is my home, me and my children. And I'm allowing you to come here and stay with us as my man. But these are the rules. I expect you to take the trash out. I expect you to help me with the bills. I expect you to help me with the children. I expect you to do this. I want to go on a date once a month or so forth and so on if I can get a sitter. I want this. You didn't give him any expectations. You didn't require anything. You didn't require nothing. That's why it was so easy for him to just come in. You was just so happy to just have him. He came with his bummy bags and his bummy clothes with his bummy self, and he moved in and he set his plan in motion from the beginning. And you allow him to take over your household and terrorize your household, not just you, but your kids. You got to be careful about your decisions because the decisions that you make affects your children. Okay, girl, listen. The bottom line is this: Jasmine wants y'all money. This is what this is all about. It's all about money. She keeps saying it ain't, but it is. It is, honey. It is. I'm sorry. I had to drink some water. My throat was dry. It is. That's what all the theatrics and the tears and all this other stuff. Soon as the cash app starts flowing, her tears gonna dry right on up. Jasmine seems like she needs professional help to me more than YouTube. Jasmine regrets having those kids. She said it in so many words. She said it before, and she said it in a few videos. So she really means that. If somebody keep repeating the same thing over and over and over, they mean it. She's not just saying this in anger. She means it. She regrets having those children. That's why she wants Philip to come and take the kids for the summer, and she's secretly hoping that he'll keep them. That's what she wants. And she could just come and get them every once in a blue moon and send them back on over there to their daddy. She don't want them kids. Okay. It's obvious that she's not feeling them kids at all. None of them. At first, I thought that she only felt that way about the Davis four, her four oldest children, but it's becoming more and more evident that she's starting to feel the same way towards Stinky Poo, aka Legend. Yeah, I know she called him Stinkabug, but I want to call him Stinky Poo. My thing is, if she didn't want all those kids, then why didn't she get on birth control? Like I said before, she didn't have to have all them kids. She could have been one and done. Okay. My problem with Jasmine is she never takes accountability for the part that she played in this messy life of hers. She needs to come up with a plan to fix her life. Somebody needs to call Iyanla Van Zant to fix her life. This is getting out of hand. She said that she wished that Philip would have left her after she had Kaylin. There she go again, shifting the blame onto somebody else. Where is her accountability in the situation? She is in control of her body, not Philip or Chris or any other man. If she didn't want any more kids after Kaylin, then she should have gotten put on some type of birth control. She need to get out of here with that. We're not putting all the blame on Philip. Both of y'all made the decision to be intimate, which resulted in having children. You open your legs up to Philip and then Chris. So now you have to deal with your decisions. Jasmine's problem is everything is hunky-dory cool as long as she was with Philip. She didn't do all this complaining when they were together. She didn't do all this fussing and complaining when she was with Chris neither. So you need to shut up, woman up, and do what you got to do because I don't want to hear it. You want somebody to baby you, and I'm not the one to do it. And another thing, I noticed that she mentioned something about dating. Jasmine don't need to be dating no damn body until she heal herself on the inside. She needs to learn to love herself more. And I'm speaking in terms of loving on herself on the inside, not just the outside, because her outside appearance looks good, but because she's working out and everything. But she needs to focus on her mental and emotional health. Don't nobody want no woman that's miserable, oppressed, and downtrodden. She's too needy. Okay. If she doesn't learn to love herself and love her children more, she's going to run into another dude that's going to be worse than Chris and Philip at this point. Because right now, she's coming across as very desperate and very needy and very clingy. And it looked like she'll accept anything or anybody at this point. She also mentioned that her baby daddies mentioned that she needs to get a real job. Neither Philip nor Chris needs to be talking about her YouTube job when her fake YouTube job helped to provide for both of them at one point in time. Okay? So they don't need to be talking, especially not Chris. He benefited more than anybody. He got a truck. He got all the fine dining. He got all the food and clothes. He got everything. He got a lot. Now all of a sudden he want to act all high and mightier than some because he got himself together now. No, you can fall down too, sir. You can fall down too. And you need to, while she working on her weight, Jasmine working on her weight, you need to work on your weight too, Mr. Chris. Because you about big as two buildings. You look like you ain't missing no meals your doggone self. Okay? It's really sad how needy and desperate she is. It's embarrassing at this point. I understand that being a mother is hard, but she needs to do what she needs to do to make her life better. There has to be something that she could do to bring in some more money. I'm trying to figure out why she lowered Philip child support. What the heck is $77? What is she going to do with $77? What is wrong with her? That doesn't make any sense because in the combination of her YouTube money, I don't even know if she even gets sponsorships. I don't even be seeing Jasmine doing sponsorships like that before. She used to do a lot of sponsorship videos for different companies. I don't hardly see her doing those anymore. She used to do a lot of shout outs to generate extra money. She's not thinking clearly to me. Her mind needs to be clear. That's why I said she needs a YouTube break, because she's not thinking. S- she needs a vacation. She needs a vacation somewhere. She needs to hop on somebody's plane and go somewhere. She never takes any trips anywhere. I don't care if she go by herself, go with a group of girlfriends, or go with the kids. She needs to go somewhere. She needs to change of scenery altogether so she can come back clear. Her mind needs to be cleared. Um, and why Chris ain't on child support? Nobody. Why? Why is she so scared to put this man on child support? Nobody else is thinking that. I can't be the only one. Come on now. He need to kick out some child support money too. And he got a job, and I know she got his social security number. She need to go on down to the child support office and put that man on child support, because you need some money. Just like you come up here begging the people for money, you need to get it. You need to hit his pockets. That's what you need to do. But it seemed like she's scared of him. She's scared of him. I don't feel like Jasmine learned her lesson about none of this. She does the same things over and over and over again. I'm not understanding why she's always in the house. She acts like she's a prisoner in the house. That's why she's always depressed all the time, because she doesn't go anywhere. It's nice to go to the gym, but you got to go somewhere else. There's more than life than just at home in the gym. You got to do other things. I don't understand why she never take her kids to the park. Kids love the park when they're little, especially when they legendary age. She could take them to the park almost every day and set up a tripod, and just that could be content too. And that's how you make other friends with other caregivers, like mothers and nannies. And there's other mothers that'll be there. And the more you go to the park every day, you start, just, hey, how are you, Sally? Oh, I'm okay. What's your name? My name is Jasmine. Oh, okay. I see you here often. What do you do? Oh, I'm a YouTuber. Oh, you are? Well, what's your channel? Girl, don't tell them your channel, because Shadow, you be up here crying. It's not in the door. The girl don't do that. But you go to and try to make you some friends or something, and then after that, maybe y'all can hang out or something. Girl, you got to be creative. Mm. I don't understand why she don't never take the kids to the library and sign them kids up for some summer programs. Like, the library has all kinds of things for the kids to do. When my children were small, I signed them up for the summer reading program. The library had snacks for the kids. They played all kinds of games and did arts and crafts, and they used to watch movies. And they got the chance to be around children. It was like a whole group of them. It wasn't just my kids did. It was other kids at their same age. They set the program up by your grade level, like your age or whatever. So that's how they group them together. She needs to look into that. I'm sure, the part of Texas that she lives in has libraries. She's not resourceful at all. Only thing she knows how to do is beg. Go on Google and look up some resources. Stop begging so much. But the reason why I say that is because the good part about it is it gave me a little bit of freedom. I had 2 hours to do me and have some me time, where I could go to lunch. I could just, just unwind and just, away from the kids. And I knew that they was in a safe environment, because I knew the librarian, I knew the director there, I knew a lot of the people there, and I knew that they were safe. So I didn't have to worry about anything. And while my kids socialized and had a good time, you know, I was able to just get away. Also, she need to utilize the community pool. That would be a nice outing for them too. It's inexpensive and a nice fun way for her to have fun with the kids. For kids their own age. She can also take them to McDonald's, and you find a McDonald's that has a play area. And even if you don't want to eat their food, you could just get them some ice cream and just let them run around and play. I don't eat McDonald's, but maybe your kids might like it. But you can get them something and just let them play. Like I said, Burger King has a play area also. Chick-fil-A also has a play area. You can make the best of your situation. You got to make a way out of no way. Even if you only have a little bit of money, there's always things that you could do. You have to scale back a little bit. I don't know what you have to sit up there and just restructure your bills. Come up with a vision board. You got to come up with a plan. You can't just beg and depend on other people's money. Have you seen the cost of food? Cost of food is like triple what it was. Like, a lot of people don't have it. You plan on people's kindness, and kindness wears out. Okay, you got to do what you got to do. This whole woe is me thing is getting played out. You're running out of people, and all the people around you are sick of you. You suck the life out of people. Even your internet supporters are grown tired of your mess. You are embarrassing at this point. You're embarrassing yourself. It's cringy to watch you. Then she said that Philip is stressing her out about his relationship with Hannah. I don't see why. When he comes to you, just tell him you don't want to hear it. But the truth of the matter is, she liked when Philip be kicking Hannah back in. She likes that because I think that she secretly feels that when he talks to her about Hannah, that there's a semblance. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a little sneaky on the low on the side going on with her and Philip too. But she ain't gonna say nothing because she don't want him to stop coming to get them kids. He probably told her, "I'm gonna sit up there and come over and hit you off with a little dee dada every once in a while, and I'm gonna come and get them kids. But if you tell Hannah and break up my relationship, you're gonna be stuck with these kids by yourself, and I ain't gonna help you no more." That's why Jasmine gonna keep her mouth shut. But I think it's a little sneaky on the low on the side going on with them too. It seemed like it. Okay, she be a little bit too in her feelings lately about him. Something is going on. Hmm. Jasmine just lives for chaos. Now, another thing I find quite odd is that she said that she had to pay for repairs to her house. My question is why? When you have a landlord, my thing is her landlord is playing her. Because when you are renting a house or an apartment, I always thought that the landlord was responsible for making the repairs in that house. Me personally, I'm not moving nowhere where I'm renting, paying my rent, and I can't call my landlord to come and fix things. If that's the case, she might as well just go ahead and invest in a house. But her credit is messed up, so she can't get no loan for no house anyway. So she just got to sit up there. When the landlord know he got her by the balls, because he knows that she can't really go nowhere. She can't afford to go nowhere. That's why they'll treat her like that. Mm, 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 mm. Jasmine was boo-hooing and crying, saying that she feels stuck behind because she feels that everything is on her. Well, welcome to the world of motherhood. Motherhood is like that. A lot of us mothers can testify to that. Okay, we get tired, but sometimes you just got to do something to make yourself happy, say a prayer, ask God for the strength, and go forward and do what you got to do. Everybody don't need to know every single solitary time you're stressed out like that. You need to cut it out. I feel like she did this to herself. What I mean by that is she would have been all good with just the Davis four. They go to school all day. They would have been that would have given her more than enough time to find a suitable job and work around her kid's school schedule. But she insisted on having Chris baby like that was a flex. It seemed like she wait, hold on. It seemed like she was trying to flex on Chris' other baby mothers and it backfired on her. It seemed like she was trying to prove to them that they were in love. She was in love. He wasn't in love. And she didn't think that he was going to do her how he did them. He left his other kids and could care less about going to see them or providing for them. And she thought that she was the exception. He showed her that she wasn't no different than his other baby mamas. The thing about it is, you got to watch how people do other people. If he would do that to his other baby mamas and abandon his other children, he would do that to you for less than that. And he did. The problem is, you didn't think that grits was groceries. She said that she struggled ever since she had Kaylin to be a strong mommy. I'm going to always say, why does she continue to have more children? Like I said, it's not going to get easier as she had more children. Yes, she kept on having them. Now they are here. You want to boo-hoo and cry and complain about how hard it is? Girl, bye. You up there talking about you got to get up every day and do everything. You are those kids' mother. It's a part of the job of being a mom. I don't know what to tell you. You complained about being depressed and overwhelmed when you was living in your two-bedroom apartment, but you turned around and had stinky poo. So nope, I don't feel not even the slightest bit sorry for her at all. She wants people to feel sorry for her so they can send her their money. Y'all can send her y'all money if y'all want to. I wouldn't advise it, but I'm not sending her nothing. She said that when she tries to get up and work, she don't got nobody to watch stinky poo. That's causing no, she's full of it. When does she ever get up and really look for a job for real? Yeah, she ain't never get up and look for no job. There's a lot of people that have kids and in the same situation to her, and they got to figure out a way to get it done. You ain't the exception. You got to figure out a way to get it done too, because all of this is not working. She said that she feel like she been taking care of the kids her entire adult life because you have been, but that's your problem. You decided to keep having kids, so oh well. What you want us to do about it, ma'am? We got our own problems, and I want to know where all her money is going. That's what I want to know. I know most of it goes towards her rent, but something is off. She needs to repair her relationships with her family, if they can be repaired. She burned a lot of bridges when she was with Chris. She pushed every one of them away from him, including her 4 older kids. She wanted it to be just her, Chris, and Legend. She put him above all else. I feel like I feel like she watches what she says about Chris because she's scared of him. And I think that Chris used to knock her head through the wall. Even though they're not together anymore, I still feel like he still watches her videos to make sure that she ain't talking bad about him. Because I think if she say something, say the wrong thing, he probably threatened to come over there and take care of. You know what I'm talking about. I feel like she lost all the weight because she thought that that was going to make Chris come running back to her, and it didn't. She needed to lose that weight for herself. Yeah. Mm, 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 mm. Well, that will be all for today's episode of Miss Pam Talk Time. I had a lot of things that I wanted to say about Miss Jasmine. She gets on my last nerve, and I'm sick of her. And I had a lot to say about it. I'm sorry for such a long video. Thank you for listening. I love you all and be blessed. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out, share, and subscribe to my channel. Doing those things help to push my videos to the YouTube algorithm. Thank you for listening. I love you all and be blessed.